I'm Isaiah Jacob with your sports update. The Cincinnati Bengals turn to their division rival for a much-needed solution at quarterback, acquiring Joe Flacco in a trade with the Cleveland Browns. Cincinnati also received a 6th-round draft pick, while Cleveland landed a 5th-round pick in the trade. A Columbus-based franchise will join the United Football League starting with the 2026 season and will play at the historic Crew Stadium. The team will be called the Columbus Aviators and is joining the professional league along with the Louisville Kings and Orlando Storm. Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones has been fined $250,000 by the NFL for his obscene gesture toward fans at MetLife Stadium on Sunday. The Cowboys said Jones will appeal the fine. This update is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register today at roosterswings.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
And Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on Tuesday. I am Brandon Beam hanging out with my guy, A-Ward Sports, Austin Ward. We got Isaiah behind the glass. Austin, happy rainy Tuesday to you, my friend. What's happening? Good to talk to you.
Great to be here. Awesome Tuesday. Go back into the Woody Hayes Athletic Center here from Ryan Day. That man is on another level right now, Beamer.
Justin and I did about, 20 minutes of post-game talk, really dissecting his comments from Saturday night. He was pretty fired up for a 42-3 victory.
He was as intense as I can ever recall for a 39-point home blowout win on homecoming. And it's the ability to change gears that I think is great. You can quote Dumb and Dumber on one hand, and then 5 minutes later, you can be quoting the Navy SEALs and saying when you think you've got it.
Which was a follow-up question to you, because you asked the question about, was it the unselfishness from Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith and why he went down that road of explaining that the unselfishness doesn't need to creep in, right? Something along those lines.
He was talking about, he got asked about that, and he went on a little bit of a tangent and went back to how every day, everyone in the Woody, everyone wearing scarlet and gray needs to be desperate and hungry.
Yeah.
And he had mentioned that on Wednesday after practice, that was the mentality, that was the mindset, that was the approach that Ohio State needed to take. And it felt to me at the time, because I love when that happens. So on Wednesday night, he finished up practice. He addressed a question that was, about, I think, sort of fighting off complacency.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets to the end of the answer and he leans back, and I'm the next one that is about to be called on by Mike Bassford. And then he snaps back to attention and goes, one more thing about that. And when Ryan Day does that,
everybody sits up.
If you're not sitting up, if you're not at attention, you're missing out. Because what is the rule of the Buckeye Show? What is the rule of snap judgments?
You listen to whatever Ryan Day has to say.
There are no accidents when Ryan Day has a live microphone in front of him. And then he goes back in. If you're not desperate and hungry, you're in the wrong place. The most desperate and hungry team is going to win every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's a race to improve. It's a race for greatness. And when that happens, it feels like you are in the post-practice huddle. It feels like you're in the team meetings because you know that is on his mind, and that is a speech that he's given. That's a message that he's delivering. And then you wait for that to trickle down to the rest of the roster. When he brings it back on Saturday after the game, that's also not by accident. And I asked him were you concerned on Tuesday or Wednesday? Is that why you brought that message up?
Do you want to hear his answer?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Here was his full answer when you got done asking him this follow-up question.
Stress it the way you did this. Just always on alert. Always on alert, because I'm sure that, I've been coaching now for a while, and just never want to be in a situation where you go into a game and like a game catches you off guard because, you felt like, you weren't on it, that you weren't hungry and desperate, because when you watch teams that are that way, you see what you get. And so that to me is important to figure out, how do you have that mentality, yet when you keep winning, it's easy to take the problems and the issues and just say, it's not a problem. Like, I'll just say it, like Bo Jackson reaches the ball out on second down, that's a problem. We should not be reaching the ball out. That's going to be a fumble down the road. I'm just going to call it out for what it is. Like, that's an issue. And if the ball is fumbled, then we're in a different situation right now. And so we have to recognize the things that we need to get better at. The 3rd and 2, Lincoln should have been in the A gap. He bounced it. Like, that's going to lose us a game if we don't recognize how important those things are. I love those guys, but we got to get them fixed. And really, that goes to the coaches. We got to get that straightened out. We got to practice it better. We got to drill it better. We got to hold them accountable. So those are the things that, when you're chasing greatness, you have to be all over, and you got to take them serious. And it can't be after a loss when all of a sudden everybody starts sitting up straight in meetings, or you're gonna get burnt. So, like they say in the Navy SEALs, when you think you got it, you're about to get it, and we're far from where we need to be. So we have to stay hungry every day.
This comes after a 42-3 homecoming victory, and he was fired up.
Yeah, and I have several theories about why. We don't need to get into them all, but like one of them, which feels outlandish, was like it was 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And so from Ohio State's normal time frame,
cranky.
He's like he's 8 hours behind in preparation for Illinois, which is going to be at 11 a.m. Central Time on Saturday.
The old Lincoln Riley factor.
Yeah, that's right. But it's like you don't even get the full 24 hours to celebrate. He was like immediately switching gears onto Illinois because they had lost all that time and he wanted to get it back. I think it also is just this other level of Ryan Day that he has reached the mountaintop and knows what it takes to get there and win it all. And he knows that this team is capable of doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be coaching them as aggressively, as intently as he is right now if he didn't see that as being a potential outcome for them. Because you know what the team is and you know what they're capable of. And if this was a group that was like, well, maybe they're going to be 10-2 and you hope to get all that experience with Julian Sayin or a bunch of, 8 new starters on defense, everything that we've talked about for the last 8 months.
Who could be better than last year's defense.
Like that would be fine. That would be understandable. And you could also then enjoy the fact that 9 months ago you won a national championship and be like, we'll gear back up for one at another time. And this wasn't the year for that. It took years to get to it.
They're not doing that, man.
He's not. And it's quite clearly to me evident that it's because he knows that this team can do it again. Because why else would he be splitting hairs after beating Minnesota by 39?
I'm telling you, man, when he said that in the postgame press conference, I looked at Justin and Justin looked at me. We were doing the postgame show. Both of us looked at each other and just said, oh boy. Wow. He is, like I said, rather fired up. Again, 42-3 victory. We're going to get into some of the game coming up here in a little bit of time, and we can break down the X's and O's of it. Everything went their way for the most part.
Well, Lincoln Keenel's didn't hit the A gap.
Well, I was very aware of that when they flashed to Ryan Day on the TV screen, and he had some choice words for Lincoln.
Yeah, why are you going sideways?
Something like that. Wasn't it? I don't think it was his exact.
Was there a different word in there?
Yeah, there could have been.
Oh. Well, not on this show, there's not.
No, there's not.
This is the
we're
Buckeye
on
show.
16-second delay. And even if we said it, Isaiah would dump it. But at the same time, all in all, it's a great weekend, right? You get into the game, and we'll talk about this coming up here at the bottom of the hour when we get into the college football pulse. It was one of those days on Saturday where I said to myself, I'm like, it's a win game. Just go out and win the game because of how the 3:30 window went. There was some zaniness that was happening.
By the way, that zaniness was on the big screen in the horseshoe. So yeah. PJ Fleck and Ryan Day were both kind of looking up, and I didn't see him smile or laugh, but I did.
I had a good time.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the example. Now, one of those coaches on the field could actually do something about that.
Yeah.
And the other could not.
Side note, PJ Fleck was really trying to put up 6 points. He wanted to get above that average.
I said, this is a true story. Spencer and I were down on the field Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row, about 2 hours before kickoff. And PJ Fleck was walking around the turf and he was making notes. And it was like he was looking at the uprights and it was like, I think the special teams part of him was like, what do we have to do? What's the wind going to be like if we're on the 30?
Yeah.
What's it going to be like from the 35? And I said, look at that. PJ just wrote down in his notebook that they could make a field goal right here to make it 35-3.
Well, the good news for
you
was
42-3.
They jumped out to 3-0 lead.
He knew. He was scouting it out.
Yeah.
But he didn't plan out that next one.
Again, it was super impressive on Saturday. By the way, Julian saying they kind of let him rip. I think Jeremiah and Carnell will be open 95% of the time whenever they run those comeback like little hitch routes. Jeremiah's going to be open on that 1,000%.
It's not something that anyone can cover.
No. What do you do?
Like no one.
You going to jump it? Go ahead.
Yeah, that won't be fun.
No.
I mean, you could put someone in a zone underneath him, and then you could put somebody else behind him, and then you could take him away. But then I think Carnell Tate or Max Clare or Brandon Ennis would be open, so I don't advise it. You can't stop it. And we're going to see that route, Beamer, so many times. Mm-hmm. If teams want to just drop 3 safeties back, play soft zone and make Ohio State march down the field, then you're going to see that route a billion times.
Yeah, Julian has every capability to throw that ball on the money 100% of the time.
It's a very effective play.
And Jeremiah will stiff arm you 6 feet into the earth like he did. Was it Coy Parrish who he put in the dirt? I think it was.
Yeah,
he's a great
He made
defender.
a bad choice.
What'd you take away from the Woody today? We'll ask that in Austin's question of the day coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
The 2026 Buckeye Cruise for Cancer sets sail on the Silver Sea Silver Ray. It's an intimate ship with an even better experience. It's all-inclusive of beverages, shore excursions, taxes, and gratuities. Sail to bucket list ports like the Grand Turk, St. Martin, and St. Thomas, with Buckeye greats including Ryan Day, Bobby Carpenter, A.J. Hawk, the Boren Brothers, Ezekiel Elliott, Ryan Shazier, and more. Sailing from Fort Lauderdale, February 17th through the 24th. Call 614-792-6204 to book today.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota's got more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corolla gas models. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $209 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy skies, frequent showers, and maybe even a rumble of thunder on this Tuesday. Temperatures only in the mid to upper 60s. Overnight showers out, cooler, drier weather back in. Low 50s and breezy on your Wednesday morning. And yeah, we'll see plenty of sunshine Wednesday afternoon, but temperatures only in the upper 60s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
If you still have a weird rash from jumping in Mirror Lake, we can be friends. This is the Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy Austin Ward, coming up here at 6:46-ish. Jeremy Birmingham, a.k.a. Birm, he's going to join the program. He is super pumped about Joe Flacco.
He's not. Well, actually, he is.
Well, you got to be.
So
Jake Browning, bad.
Yeah. He, right when he got back to the house this afternoon, he went to Roosters, Nick Walker, after the press conference. I went home, did some work, and Allie is a lifelong Bengals fan. Berm, lifelong Bengals fan. I can't really relate to all of their suffering. I just try to, be there for them and offer.
You just jumped on the bandwagon when they got good in 2020.
Unequivocal support.
Yeah,
for both.
That's right.
For my wife, my friend, and my daughter. And so,
just like you and me with the Bears,
that's
right?
That's right.
When they win, you text me. When they lose, you text me.
It's not the same. I don't own any Bears gear. That's different. But I do. I want the best for you.
Yeah, thanks.
But Allie heard him come in, and she's like, "I just saw we got Joe Flacco," and he's convinced. Well, it's better than Jake Browning. He's like trying to talk himself into it. It's a very unusual situation for optimistic Berm.
I don't know if it's better. We'll see.
It's not better. There's no way it's better.
Isaiah, you're the Browns fan here. Is it better than Jake Browning?
It feels so lateral. I mean, there's like no other person they could trade for that it feels so lateral.
Go get Jameis.
He could throw for a bunch of yards, but he's still going to have those stupid turnovers.
Like everybody on Twitter is like, go get Jameis. Go get Jameis. He would be.
I would have done backflips for Jameis.
Jameis would have been really fun.
He's going to throw you. He's going to throw 30 picks
to Jamar and T. Higgins,
but he's also going to throw 30 touchdowns probably,
and give you 7 great sound bites a game.
Yes, the war horses are leading in. Whatever he said before the snow game last year against the Steelers.
I mean, at least make it entertaining. If he's going to throw picks, I know that he can throw a bunch of deep balls to T and Jamar. Yeah. I watched a bunch of picks on Sunday from Jake Browning. Yeah. There weren't a lot of bright sides.
It was not fun.
I didn't enjoy it.
No, it was bad.
Yeah, it was another game. We went to Gallows to watch it, and I'm like, this is enough. Let's just leave it at halftime.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough right now.
Yeah,
but you know what? You're only a quarter way through the season. Got a lot of time to go. That's for every NFL fan out there.
Yeah, but we're almost halfway through the college football regular season.
That is true. We're going to do the college football pulse coming up here in about 10 minutes, and I'm guessing...
I was just trying to get you back on track because I derailed the show.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time in that segment. What did you take away from the Woody today, Austin? Was it laser focus again from Ryan Day?
It's about Ohio State. It's about them. It's about having the best week of practice of the season. That was starting at 2:30. They're done now. I think that it's fascinating to look at this matchup because the two hosts of the Buckeye Show spent a lot of the offseason circling the Illinois game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a tough physical battle.
Could be better than the Penn State game.
This is a college football playoff contender. And then the Indiana game happened. Mm-hmm. And Dave Holmes asked a question that I was going to ask too, which is like, what do you do with that if you're Ryan Day? Because if you look at not just the other games Illinois has played, but also going back to a year ago.
You want to hear from him?
Sure.
You want to hear his answer?
Yeah.
On Illinois' loss to Indiana and how it's not who they are?
I'd love to hear it.
Okay. Here's Ryan.
I mean, I did hear it once.
Throw it out. It's not who they are. Yeah, I can't quite explain that game. I know Nebraska had the same thing that happened last year and then came in and played us all the way to the fourth quarter. So throw that film out. Don't even barely look at it, because to me that's not who we're playing. They, whatever it was in that game, it's an outlier. So we're going to look at the games that were played prior, what they did last year, what they've done the last 2 games. Brett's again one of the better coaches in the country, and he's a resilient guy, and they're a resilient team. So I think it says a lot about them to rebound the way they did, get a win against USC, and then go play the way they did last week. So, we all know that going through a tough loss can bring a bunch of people together. I think they've done that, and so we know we're going to get their best shot here on Saturday, and we're going to talk about that today, and we've got to have a great day of practice.
I agree with him 100%. This is a pretty good Illinois team. Again, 63-10 was the final score. Indiana beat them like a war drum. But at the same time, this team has every weapon available to them to be college football playoff contenders.
All the things that we said about Illinois leading up to the Indiana game are still true.
Yeah.
They are improved at quarterback than they have been in a while, and better this year than last year. They have skill talent. They are well coached on both sides of the football. A month ago in the build-up to that game, they were just on the heels of that win at Duke, where they were forcing turnovers seemingly at will. We've seen them at their best. Indiana was their absolute worst.
We've also seen them at their worst.
And that was really bad.
Yeah.
But also the last couple of weeks as well, if you're zeroing in on that, they've been dealing with injuries. They're not the same team that they were. They're giving up a lot of yards through the air, and that I didn't expect from them. And that is not a situation that you really want to be in as you're preparing to play Ohio State and Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and Max Clare and Brandon Ennis and
it's also
Kazmarek and
not a good thing for them that they allowed Purdue to get 27 points.
And that's the game that I think is almost, to me, more problematic for them than Indiana. That thing snowballed out of control.
Yeah.
And then I think they got into the third quarter and they were like,
we don't know what to do.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
This is not going to turn around, and there's still a lot of football ahead of them. I'm not saying that Brett Bielema was actually waving a white flag on the sideline, but he might as well have been.
And if you watch that game, it was as close as you're going to get.
And yes, and if you do that to Curt Cignetti, he will say, "That's cool that you're surrendering. I'm going to score 3 more touchdowns."
Yeah.
I'm going to take full advantage of that opportunity, and he did. And credit to him for doing so. We'll see what Indiana is really made of in another test for them this weekend, but that has nothing to do with Ohio State and Illinois. And the Indiana-Illinois game has nothing to do with what's going to happen on Saturday. So I was really interested to see what you do with film like that. Is it better to take a look at that and see how another team had so much success and what you can learn from that and duplicate? Or do you just ignore that and only focus at this? You're going to get the best shot. Here's what they do when they are operating at close to peak capacity. It's going to be weird. It always is when you go to Champaign. I'm sure, like, forecast looks great right now, but that wind can come out.
It's going to be 55 degrees. It's going to be a little bit rainy, and it's going to be 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's exactly what it's going to be.
It's what you have to prepare for when you go to Champaign. But, that I think is important. Ohio State is viewing this as a top 10 game. That was Ryan Day's word. Now, he did not say talent equated. I'm keeping track of the times that he actually uses that.
No matchup game?
Didn't say matchup, didn't say talent equated, but he called it a top 10 game, and it would have been if Illinois had played remotely close to Indiana a few weeks ago. But they have the capability of being a top 10 team, and I think a lot of people see that.
Yeah, I do too. It's going to be interesting to see this team now on the road for a couple of weeks in a row. Again, you and I talked about this last week. You had homecoming. It's a great night at the Horseshoe on Saturday. 2 weeks in a row, you were on the road. Then you get a bye week, and then Penn State comes into town the 1st of November. You've entered the wacky part of your schedule. It is a little bit strange now.
Yeah, this is the grind. And
embrace it?
Embrace the grind. Embrace the suck.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that you have to you almost remove Penn State from this conversation because it is after the off week and it comes with its own set of stakes and circumstances. This stretch, Ohio State broke that out, and they did it easily and relatively neatly.
Yep.
3 games out of 4 to open the Big Ten slate on the road. And Minnesota was what it was. It wasn't the stiffest test that Ohio State was going to face all year, but they showed up for it, and it had Ryan Day's attention before and clearly after. But to go on the road in consecutive weeks is simply not easy in this league. It's, they're not going to the vaunted Rose Bowl, but Camp Randall next week, even as down as the Badgers have been, it's not where you want to show up at a 3:30 afternoon kickoff, and they're going to be hoping to accomplish something. Luke Fickell's trying to send some message.
Yep.
And their rush defense has been pretty good. If they had any kind of pulse on offense, they had a chance to beat Michigan in the Big House last week.
Also very unlucky with them in quarterback injuries.
Yeah. So, I'm sidetracked and I'm jumping around with what the schedule looks like, and that can't happen for Ohio State. That was another reminder from Ryan Day. They have to be locked in for Bloody Tuesday. They're going to have to turn the page to Wednesday. They're going to have to be locked in for those practices because they're going to get into a fist fight on Illinois. And then once you're done with that, you can come back up for air and see what it's going to take to go on the road again the following week.
What'd you take away from the special teams units, Austin? Because I know we were really keying on it. Jaden Fielding missed a field goal.
Yeah.
It was a big field goal. He talked about how he was hitting from 63 yards, I believe it was in practice. But then you also gave Illinois and Wisconsin and Penn State something to work on in the punt return game, where Brandon Innes had the half-field toss to Lorenzo Styles.
I thought that play was – I don't know that I've ever seen that on a punt.
I don't think I have. Saw it on a kickoff.
Yeah, I've seen it on kickoffs before. That was one of the more –
shout out to Frank Wycheck, Music City Miracle.
Yeah, 100%. That's one of the more unique plays that I've seen, and other teams are going to have to file that away. Could you have saved it for a more meaningful scenario? Maybe, but it may also be setting up something for Brandon Innes on offense that you have to be aware of.
Yep.
That won't surprise me at all. I think that outside of the missed field goal, I thought it was largely a step forward for the special teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe they needed something like that jolt. Like, here, we're gonna install something new. We're gonna get a bit of creativity. We're gonna challenge you guys. We're gonna push you, and we're gonna do something different. I think maybe they needed that because it has not been good enough in that phase for the talent-equated matchups down the road. So adds another wrinkle in there. And really, there's a lot of credit to go around. Coaching staff, people involved in scheming that up, Brandon Innes for executing a very difficult throw going across the field, and Lorenzo Styles, who has got to run 40 miles down the field down here, catch the football, and then run all 40 miles the other way. No wonder he looks so tired at the end of that.
What do the Horseshoe, the Swamp, and the Rose Bowl all have in common?
Ooh.
We'll tell you here in 2 minutes in the College Football Pulse. Next, it's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Fox Tonight is the place for uncovering mysteries and memories.
I had a car accident. I lost 8 years of my life.
First, it's an all-new murder in a small town.
Your success rate in solving major crimes is superb.
Surprises the heck out of me, too, sometimes.
Then, it's a new episode of the smash hit, Doc.
You're having memories? They're just weird flashes. I need my life back. I will do whatever it takes.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ryan Day's favorite radio show. Probably. Maybe. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Berm's going to join us here in about 15 minutes or so, around 6:46. Want to let you know that a bye week, which we're going to have in a couple of weeks, about getting your energy back. And that's exactly what Awaken 180 gave me. I don't drive through mornings anymore. Not dreading the stairs on a long day. I feel lighter, sharper, and actually in control. I dropped a lot of weight, but what matters is how different life feels now. If you're ready for your own reset, take this bye week or the next one with Awaken 180. Start today at awaken180weightloss.com. Before we get into the pulse, are we going to get positive or negative Berm tonight?
It feels to me
it's a rainy day,
like we're going to get negative Berm.
Okay.
I think that would be my prediction.
Yeah.
I think the shock of the Joe Flacco trade has worn off, and he's going to realize that he's been saying it's good. What he keeps saying is that it couldn't have been worse than Jake Browning. And I'm promising
we'll find out.
It can.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Let's do the pulse.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Now, what we like to do here on Tuesdays is just do a little whip around from our biggest takeaways of the college football season of the week. Austin, before we get to the madness, that was the 3:30 games on Saturday. How is it snowing already in Wyoming?
Well, Beamer, it once snowed in Laramie, Wyoming on the 4th of July when I lived there.
Shirley Basin?
You stay out of Shirley Basin at all costs.
I'm guessing that it was snowing there.
Everybody in the press box was like, does this happen a lot? I'm saying, yes, it does. That is where
I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Well, I thought that they would be able to capitalize on it because UNLV came out and tried a flea flicker on the first play of the game in that hail and snow and dropped it right down there. The Pokes take over inside the 20 in the red zone on the opening drive. I'm like, yes, this is what we're talking about.
This is Wyoming football here, baby.
Had, Dan Mullen and former Ohio State assistants Mike Solini and Corey Dennis just shocked. Like, this can't be real. They, of course, did not take advantage of it, which is the most disappointing part. But,
bummer.
At least we got to look at that beautiful field there at 72-20.
Did you see what Steve Sarkisian said today?
Tell me about it.
All right, so I was watching the Mothership a little bit earlier today, and the craziest thing to me about Steve Sarkisian, right? Good coach, we know that. Do we? Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if he's a good coach. I'm not sure.
He said the previous couple stops suggested that maybe he wasn't such a great coach. But
take the other 135 teams in college football and have them go play at Ohio State and the Swamp, and let's see how they do.
Okay.
The Horseshoe, notoriously tough place to play, right? Like, this defense, I think we can all gather so far this year, is really good from an Ohio State perspective.
You're really out on a limb there.
By the way, we didn't get to talk to James this week. We did talk to Matt Patricia, and he was terrific, and he got very X's and O's with us on the postgame show, and it was very good. The Swamp, on the other hand, big game Billy Napier has not been doing fantastic. I don't know if I would categorize that in the same place as Ohio Stadium right now. And to his credit or discredit, they have plummeted out of the top 25.
I have been blessed enough to cover a ton of games at the Horseshoe and only a couple in the Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
They are not comparable pretty much in any way. And that was when I covered those games there, Tennessee at Florida, that was Urban Meyer, Florida.
Yeah, very good version of Florida.
That was Tim Tebow, Florida, at the end there. It's a unique venue. It can get quite loud. There's a lot of passion, as every SEC stadium has. It is not the same. So even let's just set aside the actual venue itself. Ohio State, currently as it's constructed, and Billy Napier's Florida.
Yeah.
They don't play the same sport.
South Florida beat them at the Swamp earlier this year.
It's He's grasping at straws, poor Sark.
Yes, he is. You know what South Florida did this weekend? They beat Charlotte 54-26. They are a top 25 team.
Bandwagon.
Good win for them. You can't compare the two. All right? You can't compare that. And if you thought that was bad,
oh boy.
Let's take you out to the West Coast because James Franklin, who I know that we've called a pretender, maybe a fraud, and a loser.
There's no maybe.
A couple of times on this show, goes out to the Rose Bowl after a great game against Oregon and loses straight up to Nico Iamaleava, a team that had fired their coach already this season, had 0 wins.
And their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator.
Yes.
Let's not leave that out.
Let's not leave that out. That's a very important fact.
What did, by the way, what did Penn State do with its coordinator position?
No, they hired Jim Knowles. And I think UCLA put up almost 400 yards of offense in this game.
Am I to understand, Beamer, you're telling me that the $3 million man was matching wits against someone who got promoted on an interim basis last week?
I think it's almost it's got to be a long con. It has to be from Jim Knowles. But again, you would think the long con of him saying, and again, this is in my own mind, like, James Franklin, he's probably going to get fired. This is me saying this, not actual facts or anything.
4-dimensional chess.
Yes. That he's like, all right, well, James Franklin's going to get fired from this place. I'd be a great head coach to replace him. But your defense has to be good. They have to be good, and they were putrid. And then you've got James Franklin tweeting out, 1-0 this week, 1-0, beat Northwestern. I'm like, dude, you couldn't win on the road against UCLA, a team who was 0-4, and no 0-4 team beat a top 10 team since 1985. It's been 40 years since that happened.
I think you're underselling how bad UCLA is.
Austin,
they hadn't led for a single second.
1 second they hadn't led for. And you beat Penn State? And people wanted to tell us at the beginning of the year that they were going to win the national championship? Sure, they have 2 losses. And I know that was big from James Franklin. Like, we talked to Jim Knowles. Ohio State had 2 losses last year. Yeah, not like that. Not like that.
Jim Knowles also had Caleb Downs.
And Sonny Styles. And
Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau and Tyleik Williams and Ty Hamilton.
Yeah, and 8 guys who went in the NFL draft.
I think his decision to leave was always bizarre to me because even if some of the motivation was, gosh, last year was difficult and a grind, and Ryan Day, he's a lot more intense than he used to be, and it was tough to work there. Literally everyone who Jim Knowles asked for any advice said, well, if you don't like working for Ryan Day, you're going to hate working for James Franklin. Hate it. And what happened yesterday? Beep, beep, beep. Oh, this bus is coming at me. It's backing up right at me. Does James Franklin know that I'm standing back here? Beep, beep. Sorry, man. You chose it.
You know what else I don't necessarily love about James Franklin? Because I was watching and listening to his post-game press conference just to hear what he had to say. He throws everyone under the bus. It's not just Jim Knowles. It's his players.
Don't think he's ever thrown James Franklin under the bus.
I don't think he has either. I think he has staved that off. Anyone and everyone at Penn State, to your point, get out of the way. Because he is throwing them quite literally under the bus.
He's not just backing up. He's got the pedal mashed all the way to the floor. That bus is in reverse, but he's going as fast as possible.
And the doors are locked.
Yeah,
nobody's getting out.
No, sorry. And there's a cliff over there. Also, you can wrap it all together because I think James Franklin would walk over broken glass to get to the swamp right now.
Ooh. Is that a hot take for you? A bold P?
Bold P.
Yeah.
It's a bold P.
James Franklin, Florida coach?
I think it'll happen.
I don't know if that's an upgrade.
He has to get out of Happy Valley. But
once you get there, there's no leaving.
You did call him Big Game Billy Napier, so maybe it's not an upgrade for what Florida actually has here. After he just shocked the world against Sark and everyone's number 1 pick and Heisman Trophy winner, Arch Manning.
You're right.
I'm so glad, Beamer, that on this show, We never for 1 second bought into Arch Manning is going to win the Heisman and James Franklin.
Now, we've been wrong. We've been wrong about plenty of stuff.
Not
Oklahoma,
saying that
we've been wrong about. I was wrong about South Carolina. I ate that L a couple of weeks ago.
Illinois.
But you know what? Well,
although
we'll see. We'll see this weekend.
It'd be nice if we were wrong this week.
But you know what? We never, for one time, bought into the James Franklin Penn State hype.
You show me one time.
Or Texas, really.
Anywhere in the last 20 years that I've been covering college football. This is not a new thing with me and Jimmy Franks. This goes back to Vanderbilt. I feel vindicated. He's been doing just enough to keep people off the scent. And now here it is. And all those chickens.
All those expectations.
It's coming home to roost. Baby.
It is coming home to roost. And they come here in a couple of weeks. Few weeks, actually. Almost a month. November 1st.
Can you imagine Ryan Day's Tuesday press conference ahead of that game?
No. He's going to be locked in.
I think he's going to want to score 1 billion points in that game.
We're going to go on the trail.
We might see tempo.
We're going to go on the trail with our great friend, Jeremy Birmingham, who is very excited that Joe Flacco is his new starting quarterback next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we helped Tom.
Hi, my name's Tom. I've been a patient at Tri-State Men's Health, and I'm being treated for low testosterone. I didn't really notice the issue of just the energy and feeling slow in the middle of the day and waking up feeling as if I hadn't even gone to bed. When I walked into Tri-State Men's Health, I was extremely impressed from the get-go with the results of the treatment. I wake up in the morning now with clarity. I have had more energy in working out. I definitely have increased my strength. I would say that if there are men out there who experience some of the same problems that I did with inability to sleep well and waking up without feeling refreshed and having your energy flagging throughout the day, go see Tri-State Men's Health. It's changed my life and it'll change yours too.
Thanks, Tom. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. I remember seeing that CareSource heart around town and just knowing they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. And that means the world to so many children today. My name is Cardale Jones, and I was a CareSource kid.
CareSource, your Medicaid, your choice. Visit caresource.com/Medicaid.
The Donato's Pep Duo Pizza is back, and it brought a pal. The Donato's Pep Duo, loaded with crispy pepperoni and 3 kinds of cheese. Now get a large Pep Duo pizza for just $14.99. Also back, Donato's deliciously dippable pepperoni cheese bread. Now on the $5 Pizza Pals menu for a limited time. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's, gotta love more.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in. Like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors that get the job done right. Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit your local Kubota dealer for a demo today.
Find your local Kubota dealer at BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the good
Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store today. Walk-ins are always welcome. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
Parents, are your teens good with money?
No.
Switch to Huntington Bank and let's teach them. They get their own card, which they can add to their digital wallet, and you can monitor and set spending limits. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. 4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Jackets preview show coming up here at top of the hour. Jackets open up their season on Thursday against the Preds. Right now we head up to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Checking with our great friend. I don't know if he's going to be negative or positive today. He is simply known as Berm. Berm, congratulations. You have a new starting quarterback. How are you feeling about Joe Flacco taking over for the Bengals?
I mean, it can't be worse than Jake Browning. So I honestly don't care, because it can't be worse than Jake Browning. I don't care what quarterback in the league the Bengals traded for. I don't care if they played Brett Rippon, who they cut today. I don't care if they played Mike White, who hasn't played a game in 5 years in the NFL. Nothing would be worse than what Jake Browning has done the last 3 weeks. And so, you know what, Joe Flacco, I will now welcome you, and he can be my new overlord as long as he throws the football in an area that's anywhere near Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
I once heard a rumor that Jake Browning was the best backup quarterback in football. Are you not buying that?
That may have been true 2 years ago, but something happened between 2023 and 2025. And as I told Letterman Rose and Mick Walker, all Jake has been Browning lately is his pants. So...
Well, that's well said. Hey, Berm, what did you've known Ryan Day for 9 years now?
Ish.
What do you think has gotten into him lately? That's brought on all this. He's always been very fiery as a competitor. You and I used to talk about that a lot, that he was calm on the sideline, steady influence, but deep down there was an assassin. And now it feels like a lot more of that is on the surface.
I think it's because he can do it, and people don't point at him and say, well, yeah, but you haven't actually won anything. Now that he's won the national championship, I don't know if he just spent more time with Nick Saban this offseason or what. I think it's a realization that the football team at Ohio State is better served by the private Ryan Day also being the public Ryan Day. That's part of it, I think. I think that when you are a certain way in private with your team, and everyone knows how competitive you are, and everyone knows that you value winning the way that you do, and then you go out and talk to the media and you talk to the public, and it seems like you're pretty relaxed and laid back about it, maybe the message doesn't hit. I don't know, because something changed last December 1st. And the head coach that walked out of the tunnel at Ohio Stadium on December 21st against Tennessee has not gone away, and it's been really, really great for Ohio State, and it's pretty unique. It's awesome to watch a guy become a legend in front of our eyes.
How at attention were you when Ryan Day was answering Austin's question on Saturday evening going into Sunday morning, and he was talking about, complacency and there's no place for this at Ohio State? I mean, I was listening to it, Berm, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing after a 42-3 homecoming victory, that he was that upset about it.
It was shocking. I mean, we talked about it on Snap Judgments. We talked about it on the live show at Roosters on Monday. We talked about it today. Another show, like the comments that he made about Bo Jackson reaching out of football on a play that he scored on, the comments he made about Lincoln Kienholz at a point in a game where Ohio State was up comfortably And the Ohio State staff is the one that called a timeout to run a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 1 when they replaced the quarterback, and everyone knew exactly what was coming, and probably forced Lincoln Keenholz's staff to make a tougher play than he would have. But this attention to detail, this ability to see things because he's not nose buried in a play sheet, it has really elevated him as a head coach. And you have it's an interesting thing to consider is whether or not this version of, let's say you brought back the entire team from last year to this year. Is this the Ryan Day you would see? And I don't know. I think this is a byproduct of having an inexperienced team that he wants to make sure does not get high smelling their own farts. Because I think he sees that is a possibility if he and the other coaches aren't leading the way, and he's taking on, and I also think he's taken on a little bit of the attitude of some of his assistant coaches, the James Laurinaitis of the world, who are full on passion and inspiration all the time. So it's really special, and you just got to hope it continues. I was just thinking I'm writing a story for tomorrow right now, and I'm talking about that very thing.
No brown pants. I think that's
no browning.
Yeah. In terms of getting ready for Saturday against Illinois, Kenyatta Jackson, it sounds like they expect him to play. We'll see as practice goes along. I know it's premature for the availability report. We've mentioned that there's, a door that's at least open for changes at right guard. Is there anything in terms of personnel that you are on alert for this week?
It's not alert so much as it is. I mean, what is the next evolution of the defensive line if C.J. Hicks, who was the backup to Kenyatta Jackson heading into this season, if he's not playing, who is the guy that is the backup? Is Logan George, with his experience, someone that is going to be getting more run? Is it the Zion Grady conversation that I think a lot of people are having now after Saturday night, especially because, we think Kenyatta Jackson is going to play, but the Buckeyes are practicing or just finished up practice on Tuesday night right now. So we don't really know. And when you're dealing with what we think is a concussion issue, it is volatile at best. And so someone's going to be called on to make those plays. And Bo Atkinson obviously will be in position to start, I think, but who's going to be the next guy? And how do the Buckeyes get those guys ready? Because Logan George is coming from Idaho State. Zion Grady's coming from Alabama high school football. And now you got to play on the road in the Big Ten against the number 17 ranked team in the country that is desperate for a big time win and a program defining win for Brett Bielema. So someone's going to be put in a position to emerge, and it's going to be fascinating for me to see which of those guys do it. Now, Larry Johnson and Austin, you and I have been as critical of his depth and his rotation as anybody on the Ohio State beat in the last 5 years, but there's no doubt in his time in Columbus when the Buckeyes have needed his defensive line to stand up and make plays and ball out, they've done it. And so I expect someone will do it. I guess the question is just who.
Berm, before we get you out of here, NCAA coming out and saying that the transfer portal, there's going to be a one-time portal. It's going to open on the 2nd of January and close on the 16th. Good news, bad news, indifferent news for Ohio State coming out today.
I mean, I guess I'll lean toward indifferent. It's certainly not ideal for teams that hope to be in the playoffs and playing deep into January, but it is what it is. At least at the very least, you're not struggling to figure it out in the middle of practice and, heading into the first playoff game or anything like that, but it's still not ideal for those teams. And, I guess now the good news is you don't have to couple it with signing day and all the other stuff, but it's nonsensical, but I don't know that there's an answer that's actually right for anybody, because putting it at the end of spring ball and having it line up with your school's fiscal year and all that stuff sounds good, but I don't know, what does that do for the quality chance to actually come into programs and get ready to play or be a part of practice until fall ball. I mean, I don't know that there's a right answer or a wrong answer, but it seems like we should just all stop pretending that that these kids have to go to class, because they don't. So let's just do it at the end of January.
Berm, always appreciate the time. Thanks for popping on tonight. Have a terrific evening. Enjoy Joe Flacco this weekend, and we'll check in again soon, okay?
Hey, the line moved a half a point in the Bengals' direction.
All right.
All right. They're only supposed to lose by 14 at Green Bay this week, and not 14 and a half now. So big things are coming, bud.
If the Browns can beat the Packers, I think the Bengals can. See, Berm.
Bye.
There he goes. Jeremy Birmingham with us here on the Brian
Didn't
Heating and
Joe
Cooling
Flacco already
Systems
do
Vegas
that?
Out. He did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't him who did it.
Oh.
It was mostly Myles Garrett in that game.
Whatever. Can he get traded to the Bengals?
Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think they're doing that.
Oh.
Austin, I had a great time tonight. What do you say we talk to you again tomorrow around 6:15 at the Woody, all right?
You just give me a call, and I'll be ready.
We're going to be here. Everybody have an awesome night. We're back tomorrow for, I believe, a 1-hour show. Everybody have a great evening. Jackets preview up next on The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain.